Oh my gosh. Technical difficulties. That's all I can say right now.
Hi, everybody.
We couldn't get on the darn Facebook Live on the computer. It's just like it gives us a little red circle with the line across, like H, no way, you're not going down. And I'm like, really? Why not? Why can't we be on Facebook? And why are you being so angry with us?
Yeah, so we're all like...
So we had to jump on to the phone quick and go that direction because I didn't really want to use the phone tonight. The phone makes weird videos in the after the fact. The videos are like skinny when I try to put them on YouTube and stuff.
Oh, really? That changes the...
Yeah, it changes the way they look. And I, frankly, unless we're moving about.
Hi, Kelly.
Oh, yes, Kelly, hi. Lori, hello.
Lori.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about Elk River, a recent investigation we were on. And very, very active investigation.
Yeah, very interesting.
We have some decent EVPs. We'll play at the quarter hour, so to speak. And it's going to be pretty exciting. But first and foremost, I mean, we should give our condolences for the people in Texas who experienced that mass shooting today.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's a sad, sad state of affairs. I don't even have words for it anymore, but I just wanted to put it out there. Secondly, I want to remind everybody tomorrow night, we're going to be at the Thayer Hotel giving some tours. 6 and 8 tomorrow night. 2 different times. And if you get a meal, you get a discount. And I think it's $25 for the tour, but $15 if you buy a meal. So that's not a bad deal.
No, and the food's good.
Oh, the food is amazing.
I know we plugged it before, but
yes,
we'll say it again.
We'll say it again.
Yeah.
So anyway, 6 and 8 tomorrow night, we're going to be out there. We thought about doing a live out there tomorrow night, but being it's our first tour night, we thought we better just keep on schedule and make sure we have plenty of time tomorrow night to give tours and talk about the haunted Thayer Hotel.
Yeah, then we'll see how it goes, and then the next month maybe we'll flip to the Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But we have time.
Yes, absolutely. So here we are. We are excited to talk about the Elk River location, and there's a storyline to it. We were contacted by a young team that is involved in the paranormal. They call themselves Mini Ghosta, which is kind of cute. That's pretty,
yeah, they said they needed a name, and they even made little t-shirts with these little ghosty guys on it. It was cute.
It is nice. But they called and said, and it was kind of a dual phone call. They asked for some mentorship per se. That's the fancy word I put to it, but they wanted to investigate with us to see how we did some things. And we're like, hey, that's cool. And in addition to that, one of the team members had felt that she had brought something home with her, potentially from a different investigation.
Yeah, and to add to a family member that had died there in the house.
Yes.
So there was some potential live-ins.
Well, a family member and a former owner had died, not in the house though, right?
But he committed suicide after he sold it, I guess.
Yeah.
But then a family member, died in the basement.
Right. So, there was some potential flags there for a haunting, no doubt about it.
And I think she had mentioned that they had a haunting prior.
She had been experiencing some
so
stuff.
It's kind of a multifaceted thing, and
right.
And we'll talk a little bit more about bringing home things from these haunted tour sites.
Yeah, they had been to places like the Boyd House, which is extremely
fragile
atmosphere. and they had been to the Palmer House and a few other public haunted locations.
A lot of active places they've been to.
And as, new into the paranormal field, I guess they watched a lot of stuff. I better say hi.
Stephanie.
Hi, Steph, Lois, Kaylee. Try to catch more names tonight. I gotta catch them because they're in this small little framework here. I have a hard time catching it, but anyway, so they think they brought something home. They're feeling less energized, headaches, nausea. Even noticing that in the house they fight more.
Right. Seeing shadow figures, things getting thrown around.
And she said something. There was a dream she had where she saw people standing in a circle chanting. That's never a good dream to have.
No.
So we were a little cautious going in, not knowing
what
to expect. Because you could bring home a lot of different things from, say...
any of those sites.
Any of those sites that we talked about. But, but it was more. There was a plate that got thrown off the table.
And a big crystal ashtray that got thrown off the microwave. And that ashtray was pretty bloody heavy.
Yeah, because we all held it, and that thing was heavy. And it was from, apparently from the Anoka State Hospital.
Oh, wait, the ashtray, Kelly?
So, we'll wait for results there. But, hey, it didn't just fall off the microwave once. It fell off numerous times. Hello, Jarek. And so this thing had fallen off a number of times, and they had definitely experienced paranormal.
She said that's where...
Oh, that's where they had been. Okay. Yeah, so Anoka State Hospital as well. So a number of places this team had been to. Also, they had lighting issues, different things going on with the lights in the house.
Well, the hallway light when we were there was kind of doing that flickering thing.
Right.
So,
I mean, they had a lot of potential things that would lead us to acknowledging the fact that it was haunting. It was a good start. It was a good interview. And things were good right off the bat. We met the team, and 4, 5, 6 members.
4, 5, yeah.
4 or 5, and all very nice.
Group, yeah.
Yep. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Gina. So we met a very nice group of people, and this, like we talked last week, this is pretty common. That, we get together with other groups, they kind of call, or we meet them somewhere, and next thing you know, we're doing an investigation with them, and getting to learn a little bit. Hello, Amanda. Learn something from them, they learn something from us.
And we have a good time.
We have a good time. We make not only a larger network, but we have a lot of friends that we have made over the years. But, so let's talk about how things went. So we talked about what led us to going there. Why don't you talk about a little bit, like you had some experiences in the basement.
Yeah, so while everybody was, actually I don't even know what you guys are doing, but you're upstairs.
Yeah.
So when everybody was upstairs, I decided to just go down and sneak a little bit of quiet time in the basement. And I was sitting on a couch, and I was facing... It was like a bar. And at the end of that bar, something was trying to materialize. So it was doing that kind of... I was telling Russ that when we saw... like something trying to materialize in front of our camera at one of our investigations. But that was like in the snow. It was like kind of really funky. But that's kind of how it was, but it was dark. It was just doing this swirling, forming into a figure. And then somebody came down and it went. But a little bit later, I caught a figure in that area too. So, and then other things, experiencing the physical, like I get it in the back when there's something near, and there were some headaches and different things. So, and we picked up some EVPs which will play, like Russ said. And,
Right.
And yeah, I think it was active and it was fun.
And I'm still mad because I can't get. I'm still mad because I can't get live video to come up on my computer. I don't understand it.
Oh, Jill and Ray.
Yes. I can't understand why this didn't work tonight. It's just really got my goat. I can't figure it out. They just keep changing stuff on there all the time.
Yeah.
But
just technical difficulties and the good times, Ray. How about you guys?
Right. But, and I wrote down some notes because it was a little too much. I think one thing the physical thing that occurred to me was that at least on 3 occasions, down in the basement, mainly right at the bottom of the stairs,
right,
I had the spider web thing, and I haven't had that in a long time. Where, you just feel like spider webs are groping on you, and it's...
Yeah, because that happens periodically.
It does.
You're like, hey, Mark, shine the flashlight over here. And spider webs. And
yeah,
there's nothing.
And we did the same thing. One of their team, hello, Mitch, came over the flashlight immediately after the first time. Looking around, we looked all over the place. They had no spider web anywhere. So the old spider web in the hair, and sometimes you get them around the neck, this, that. So that was pretty crazy. But we did a lot of audio work that night, and I just love audio work. I think that's some of our best evidence. But we also used different apps. Hello, Rita. The team we were with was really big on apps.
Yeah.
And even I had a new app. I don't remember what it's called. Well, I'm using my phone, so I can't look. But so we had 2 apps that we used, one traditionally and one brand new. But we found that we had some awful good coincidences with these apps.
We did, yeah, absolutely.
And they were mentioning names and stuff more than once, including our names.
Yeah, because it said my name on that, and then you said you caught somebody saying, I said that, or?
Yeah, well, one of the names we kept getting was the name Michael. And after they said Mark's name, one of the other investigators, asked about it. And we had an EVP that said Michael did it.
Oh, yep.
Yep. And so that's kind of neat that we pick up some of these names on multiple sources. So, like I said, we probably at one time we had 3 different apps going.
Right.
And and we also did an audio session, and we were picking up stuff that related. Of course, we pick up a lot of stuff that doesn't as well, and that's one thing we talked a lot about as part of the mentorship that night is we're taking the pieces that fit. That's the key to the process, is fitting things together. But, so I'm going to go over, we did ask, and we're going to play that EVP up in a little bit, about who died in the house, or if they died in the house. And we had several, like 3 or 4 of them. That was kind of amazing. Oh, I didn't see that. I don't know if we can now, or can we?
Yeah, I don't. You'd have to go back and see.
Okay.
But if she had that below her name, we could.
Right.
But sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, we were looking at possibly adding a quick guest. Let's just do it. Should we try?
Yeah, let's see. You just have to scroll a little bit and see
what's
her name. And then if it...
I don't see anything there, though.
Oh, that's strange. Yeah, Kelly, you don't have the little part that says bring them on camera.
Yeah, so we're missing that part. But if it shows up... Oh, there it is. She just popped on. All right, we're going to bring Kelly on. She's with Minigosta. Here we go.
Ghost. Here we go.
Ding, ding, ding. See if I'm smart enough to get this one. Hello, are you... He's almost there.
There she is.
There you go. Can you hear us? Now, we can't hear your voice.
I don't know if you're muted or...
Check your mute button. We'll let you work on that for a second. As soon as you get it fixed, you just feel free to butt in and start chatting it up with us. So, anyway, so we had a lot of stuff, but not yet. Do we have something we need to do, Mark? I don't know.
Hit finish and see if that helps.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Never mind. My bad.
we're good. Never hit the finish button. I just heard like ding dong, like different sounds. Say something now. I can hear you, but just kind of faint.
So I can hear you, but you're...
We can hear you too, but you're breaking, you're coming in and out. But I can hear you
There we
now.
go.
You're just kind of coming in and out. Okay. All right. You want to introduce yourself?
My name's Kelly, and I'm from Minnegosta. And it was my house that we did the investigation in. So,
And is there anything that we didn't say that you want to mention about the house?
I think you guys got most of it, except for we
Okay.
had a pizza party first. So
We did. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
since it was
Well,
one of the ghosts' birthdays.
Oh, that's right. Now, tell us, as long as we got you on, tell us how things have been in the last, I mean, you've been sick, but otherwise, how have things been the last week or two?
Quiet.
Quiet, huh?
It's kind of trying to get used to the quiet again.
So no ashtrays flying around, no.
Oh, cross my fingers.
Yep. Well, like I say, we gave that house a good healing and a good cleansing, and I would expect no different than to hear
Yeah.
that it's quiet there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good to hear.
That's great.
Yeah.
But we did come up with a lot of interesting stuff, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. that's
There
sure.
was, I think, potentially between 5 and 7 lost spirits, lost souls that were present at that house based on the variety of conversation that we picked up.
Yeah.
Michael was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
His name popped up several times. And I was just going to talk about Dorothy. Do you know anybody named Dorothy?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, we were all down in the basement, and I think it was Lauren. Somebody laid on the bed downstairs.
Yeah, it was Lauren.
Yeah. And one of your investigators was holding one of your devices, one of the apps, and it said lay. And she said, look at here. It's talking about laying down, lay, and you're laying on the bed. Now, that ain't a real big firework.
Yeah.
But the firework is right after that was said, a spirit said, I'm lying on the bed. So not only was Lauren lying on the bed, the spirit apparently was lying on the bed too.
Yeah.
But that's not where it stopped. We continued to ask some questions. I said, we were talking about not rubbing the millimeter on the fabric because the static might cause an issue.
Yeah.
It might cause a false reading. And the spirit says again, and I'm on her bed.
So she's very persistent.
And then
Yeah.
we're talking for another second or two, and it says, I was on that bed. As if so very persistent to let us know that it was on the bed. And then she said, I'm Dorothy. So Dorothy was on the bed, and she wanted everybody to know. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Troy. So, I mean, pretty exciting. And now that Lauren's on there, she probably hearing us talking about the bed and the ghost that was laying right next to her.
Yeah.
By the name of Dorothy.
By the name of Dorothy. Oh, that.
I'm kind of thinking that must be maybe one of the couples that had all the kids that lived here way before we did.
That could be.
That's possible, yes.
Because I know they had upward anywhere from 8 to 10 children, and I think they were all special needs too.
Yeah.
The busy house.
Yes.
Mm.
But we have a couple pieces we're going to play here. And the thing I like about the pieces we're going to play is the fact that the spirit, the soul, the ghost says something, and that same word per se shows up on one of your applications. And a lot of people kind of, you know, aren't that big into the apps and stuff. And you guys were just using them straight off your phones, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling anybody out there that's listening, that's no joke. Those apps are no joke.
Right.
Yeah.
And they may not work straight up every time. Just
No.
That's how things are. But
yeah, you might get a ton of baloney, but
yeah, we were getting things that corresponded with, like it said my name, and then we picked up an EVP that said Michael said that. Or
yeah,
something
Michael,
like that.
yeah.
And then he's going to play a couple of things that
confirm that
yeah.
those apps are definitely the real deal. And you got to be careful with them. Not anybody should just be pulling up apps and trying different stuff. Lauren's saying while she was on the bed, somebody kicked the bed. I remember her saying that.
Yep, I felt that too later when I was sitting there. It was like in the same place, Lauren. It was like the bed was like moving. Right
the bed moved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, all those pieces come together nicely.
So I know with the one app, the iOvilus I have, I had to have Bill Chappell explain to me exactly how it worked, because he said they don't necessarily work the way you think they do or that everyone thinks they do.
Okay.
He usually that the pitch that the ghost or that the machine uses is basically what picks out the word. Each word has a pitch.
That's interesting.
So it's nice. It was nice to work side by side with somebody who actually made it for us.
Right. Oh, that's kind of neat. That's kind of neat.
That is.
All right. Well, I think we're at 7:25 already.
Let's play a couple.
So let's go ahead and start playing some of these. I'm going to hold the phone up a little bit because I don't know what end that speaker is on, one end or the other.
Yeah.
But this one is pretty interesting. Now, there's a question asked and a response. And let's just tell them what it says. To me, it sounds like it says Scott and Ed and ice cream. Now, the very beginning part, is investigators. But at one point, the spirits take over.
Who's trapped in here?
Do I need to turn the volume up on that? How was that? I'll play it again.
Who's trapped in here?
Did you hear that? Scott and Ed and ice cream. I don't know why it says and ice cream. I'll play it one more time.
Who's trapped in here?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I'll try to hold you closer to the speaker here. Now this one, a guy says hello, and then another voice, it sounds like another guy says, I'm just gonna have fun. Now that one was off of the audio device that we were using, off of our app. And the first one was an EVP. I want to make sure I let people know what's what. Now
Well,
this is where. Go ahead.
Nick said that the freezer downstairs was full with ice cream. The whole
Was it? So they were talking about ice cream.
Yeah.
Troy said, I think it was Eileen. Okay. Now this one, hello, Clean. This is where we ask if anybody died in the house. And there's several people that are like, yeah. Did you die in this house?
That kind of sound like yeah.
And all those yes weren't us. And like one of the investigators said something, but there's almost like 4 other yes in there.
Yeah, some of them were whispery and.
So
Yeah.
probably a little hard to hear.
We heard that when we listened outside, but I don't think the rest of the team heard that part.
I think I'm gonna hold it like this because I think the speaker is this little thing up here.
Okay.
It's a small little thing. Now this one, Mark and I have a slight difference of opinion because we have different hearing. So I hear one word and he hears another. Let me know what you think.
Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
But now that's what I hear.
What?
I do hear it now.
Now you hear?
But I couldn't hear it any of the times you played it before.
So to me, it sounds like it says Minneapolis. Did you hear that? Now I'm in there, I'm talking about a flashlight and I say shine it. But the one part is just Minneapolis.
Yeah,
Can you
now I
hear
hear
it?
it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes I have to kind of explain it. This is probably our favorite of the night.
Yeah, this is my favorite. I really love it.
I'm talking about the old tube radio that Mark and I brought to your house to use as an audio piece. And when I asked about how they liked the audio, the old radio, a female voice sounded very 50-ish, says, that will age you.
Did you like the old tube radio? Did you like the old tube radio?
Okay, that's playing it like about 6 times, but could you hear it?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's kind of back a little bit, so it's maybe not quite as easy to hear, but
Yeah. And that really is the nature, and we get a lot of EVPs, but you know, they're not always like, I have about 5 pages of EVPs from your house, but so many of them are so soft that,
Yeah.
I mean, I have to pick out ones that I feel, and I pick out usually about 12, and by the time the show starts, it's down to about half of that, because
Yeah.
Mark and I decide what are people going to be able to hear. And I mean, it ain't easy to pick out all these EVPs going from investigation.
Mhm.
Here's this one. This one it says the light. And that's fairly clear and straightforward.
it
Mhm.
sounds like a golem from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Light, my precious. Now, this one is actually a movie clip, which is the only good thing about the fact that we are on this phone. I can show the movie clip as we're going.
Right.
So this is kind of a longer one. So it's kind of a storyline, and I'll probably stop it a couple times and talk about it while we go. So we're going to turn around right now.
Okay.
trapped in this house. And
George, are you trapped in this house? Do you need...
are you trapped from your sins?
Now, this is because I'm only working with a half screen on my phone now. It's not as convenient for me. But it says sin, sin, and right after that, one of your apps says sin. Did you hear that? I'll play it again.
Trapped in this house. And
George, are you trapped in this house? Do you need...
are you trapped from your sins? We can release some sins. We can help you with that.
Do you want...
Now, those who are quite quiet, I put them in there because they're part of just the whole conversation. So he says, lawmen do, when he's talking about helping with sin. I don't really know. Tell me we're moving. But those are pretty hard. I'll play them one more time, but they are very hard to hear.
Are you trapped from your sins? We can release some sins. We can help you with that.
Do you want to be moved? Do you want to be moved to the other side? Do you want to be moved to the other side? Do you want us to help you with that?
Do that?
To help you with that?
Do that? There's little ticks like that.
Now, I just want to mention that as we were down there doing this session, we started hearing little like creaks or ticks on the ceiling. And that is what we consider one of the signals that there is spirit energy or a light worker or somebody nearby, and they're working to communicate.
And that was happening earlier when we were doing an audio session or a EVP session down there.
Right.
The same kind of clicking. Heck, that happens in here.
Yeah.
In the office.
My favorite is yet to come here. Now I'm just going to explain it quick. At one point, the app that you guys are using says the word drown. And then a little while later, a guy tells us that he drowned in a spirit, a ghost says that. That's the kind of the finale here.
You drowned like that.
Drowned.
There's little ticks like that.
Drowned.
You drowned?
Okay, I got to stop just for a second because I noticed somebody out saying, what kind of language has he got? I actually researched that, and in many cultures, they say the word drowned, like an extra ED on the end. That's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. But it is in some archaic dictionaries. All right, anyway, okay, back to
Drowned.
This could potentially be a spirit that you brought in from another location.
Yeah.
Where did you come from? What state? State.
Is your name?
Could you hear that? I drowned in Ohio.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that, like I say, in this clip, twice now the words were said on the app and then also said by the spirits that were in the house. And then I just wrap it up with a little synchronicity here.
Mark? Is your name Mark?
That's me.
Oh yeah. It said Mark.
So that was one of the times that it actually said Mark. All right, so we're back in business here.
That wraps up the EVP section.
Yeah, that's kind of the EVPs. Hopefully people were able to hear them. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Lori. It's like I say, coming in and out of investigations left and right. Sometimes you can go to, in a whole investigation, go to 5 in a row. You might not even get one Class A EVP. Hello, Joan. And so we've been kind of fortunate the last couple of weeks that we're able to pull some stuff out that people can hear. Lauren said, good, excellent. Thank you, Lauren. I'm glad you heard it. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, Mel.
So, yeah, so you got to hear some of the voices and stuff. What do you got to say now, Kelly? What do you think?
Well, I think we got most of them to cross over. So, especially with you seeing all the lights in the laundry room at the end there.
Yep, I got that in my notes to talk about yet. But hey, as long as you brought it up, where are my notes anyway? Is that them? Oh no, it was in the yellow notebook. But hey, I don't need the notes really. Yeah, you brought that up. Now, as I was in the process of the healing and we're all working together as part of the healing. Hello, David. I stepped back for a minute to the laundry/furnace room. And I look across the room, and in front of the furnace, I mean, it's pitch black. We had all the lights out. There was at least four lights. And they were like candles, like fireflies. Fireflies would be the best. And they were like flying around in that little back room. And I'm like, what are they doing back here? But we're gathered and getting ready to cross into the light. That's what I like to think. But my battery had just gone dead, which is the classic. Happens every time.
So classic, yeah. If there's something to be seen.
If there's something to video, the video's dead. It just happens every time.
And that's really any device we've had for it's like, yeah.
Every time you're about ready to just
the battery's dead.
The greatest thing you've ever caught for evidence in your life, and the battery's dead. But hey, so we had that going on, and that really gave me a good feeling that things were happening. The way they were all kind of gathered in one spot, and like 4 fireflies. I mean, I'm certain that there wasn't 4 fireflies in your basement.
No.
I mean,
we would have seen them.
Yeah, we would have seen them throughout the night.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wrap up my part on this right now because, and I put this, I think I put it out on Facebook or something. After I went home that night, we drove all the way home. After I got pulled over by the cops.
We did.
Oh, you want to tell that story?
We could, yeah. So we were driving out to Highway 10, and we took a left onto going the wrong direction.
A little too soon.
And I just had said, I really think things don't look right. Something's wrong. And I was just about to pull us up on the GPS to see what was going on. And all of a sudden across the cop lights pop on, and it's driving right at us, and we're like, what the frick?
Yeah.
Because I've never seen that before. And
I mean, right at us. Like it was.
Yep.
Like this.
And then we're like, oh crap, well, we're going down the wrong way. So it was a rookie, and he asked us all the questions. He took Russ's information. Of course, he asked, you been drinking? Are you on any substances? And Russ is like, nope. And so he goes back to the car. Another car shows up, and then
quite quickly.
Yeah, and then that guy comes up, asks us the same questions and more, takes Russ's information, says, oh, I got to go check this out. And then, so we're sitting there the whole time. The only bright spot was when he turned off his,
bright lights
right in our eyes. It was just insane. So that's 2 times now we've been pulled over heading for investigation.
2 times in 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a bad number.
Yeah.
But so anyway, we on the way home, it's 1:30, we get pulled over. I get home, I go to bed, and I immediately go into this dream. And, well, it's not even a dream. It was I'm awake and I see 4 crosses. They were like a light grayish brown and surrounded by a light green. And like 4 or 5 crosses show up, just kind of one after the other. And after that, 4 or 5 people show up. And I remember one was a fella, and he in and out real fast. The second one was a lady, and she was carrying a baby. And she looked like she was like in a hospital. And she walked out of a baby room, and there's a guy standing there, and he had his head hung low. And I could only think that perhaps something had happened to that baby. And we actually had, one of the comments we had was something like, "I miss my baby." That's exactly what one of them was. Oh, here it is down on the floor. But anyway, that was essentially what it was.
Yep.
And then there was a lady that had kind of, I would say, orangish colored hair. And she was sitting like in a field, like a wheat field type thing. I mean, just you had that feeling, and she's just eyes kind of basically closed, just kind of looking around and absorbing the energy. And then there was a younger girl, probably about 13, 14. She had dark hair, and she was just kind of looking down. She was sitting in a chair in a house, and she had some braids, about 3 or 4 braids coming down. The rest of her hair hung about here. And so there was about the same number of crosses for the number of people I saw. And I just took that as a sign that, you know what? Some people crossed into the light tonight. And it's not unusual for me to have that occasion where I get a short visit either before or after the investigation of some of the spirits that were there. And usually just a small tidbit like that, very small. And but anyway, so I felt real good, and we're super excited to hear that all is quiet at your house.
Yeah. And Nick hasn't said anything either, so I told him, I said, if you see stuff, let me know. So
Good.
I think you have a clean house, and that's the bottom line.
He used to say a lot when he was little. Now I think he gets too overwhelmed with it all now.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it was a great time meeting you guys.
Yes.
And we really appreciate you calling, and we absolutely enjoyed meeting your team and working with your team, and I bet we'll work sometime again.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go, and then we're going to wrap up. So you have a great night.
You too.
Yeah,
All
good.
right.
Good seeing you.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Night. All right. Well, wow, that was great that we got to get Kelly on and
Yeah, that was fun.
find out how they're doing. I mean, we did call them once already and talk to them a little bit. Hello, Tammy. It just feels good to know that all's quiet at the home front there.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I think that is about, I mean, I had other reasons I started paranormal investigating years ago, you know, to kind of get the rush, this, and then the curiosity. And I mean, there's so many reasons, but it really is nice to help people out. And
and I think that's kind of our main goal now is to, try to get peace for the family. And then, secondly,
I mean, you and I get along great. We have a lot of great investigators that help us, and we work with a lot of great teams.
We do, and get to go to fun places.
Yeah.
And, it's just, so there's a lot of good to it.
But there's a lot of work to it too. I mean, it's fun, but it is a lot of work too. And a person can't say enough about making sure that you have a good foundation and good protections. And if you don't, you might bring something home. You just don't know. And there's a lot of people that think, well, it's just a spirit, he or she isn't bothering me, so it's okay. But you don't realize how that energy of the deceased can affect you in so many ways.
Just takes a big toll. Yeah, right.
In this case, nausea, a little more fighting than usual, headaches. I mean, and just a list of things that is common at a lot of investigations. People don't realize that they had a conversation.
Right.
They're like, gosh, I do get a lot of headaches, or this. But hey, thanks a lot to Minagosta for calling us up. We had a great time. Thanks for everybody for listening tonight, watching in. And we're going to wrap up with the same thing we started with Wednesday night, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Mark and I will be at the Thayer.
The historic Thayer. Yeah.
Historic and haunted Thayer Hotel in Annandale. And we're gonna lead some tours, and we're gonna talk about historic hauntings, that stories from the past, as well as evidence that we have gotten while we're there.
Right, yeah, personal experiences and
so
some fun stuff.
We're a little, I'm not nervous, but I don't even know what to expect. And all right, Gina, we got one customer.
Yay!
So it's gonna be a great time no matter what, because we're gonna make it fun. And like I said, great place, great meal, great everything. So hope to see you there. And boy, we really kicked her late. In like 7:48.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Thanks for sticking with
Burning
us.
the midnight oil. Hey, thanks a lot, everybody. Blessings.
Have a good night.
Good night.